Welcome back to the Demented Collective. As always, I'm Gary.
I'm Dave.
I'm guest Christian.
Guest Christian right here.
Yeah. Legal first name guest, last name Christian.
Yes, sir.
He got to pick the movie.
Yeah. And what movie are we today?
What'd you pick?
I picked Signs. It was released on August 2nd, 2002.
A widowed former reverend living with his children and brother on a Pennsylvania farm finds mysterious crop circles in their field, which suggests something more frightening to come.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Signs. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Everyone knows M. Night Shyamalan. We've gone over him before.
M. Night Shyamalan. Everyone knows Mel Gibson.
Written by M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, Mel Gibson. Everyone knows Mel Gibson.
I guess it took him 6 months to write the script for this movie.
He said it was one of the easier scripts for him to write.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see his probably other films might take longer.
And Mel Gibson said that when he read the script, he couldn't put it down because it was so captivating.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix, also in this.
Yeah.
Which...
Everyone knows Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix actually replaced Mark Ruffalo in this movie because he had to back out due to a benign brain tumor.
That's true.
Are
you like a massive fan of this movie?
It's kind of like a rite of passage in my family. Like, we'll watch it, and then, like, the younger kids will go out and scare him with it. So
You'll scare him with his movie?
Yeah. So,
I mean...
the story is, my dad had my uncle watch this, and they got, like, a 10-year age difference.
Okay.
And my dad had mannequin heads. So he's walking around outside the house, putting them in the window, and looking at the window with them, messing with my
That's
uncle,
awesome.
bashing on the window and stuff. And then me and my uncle did it to my cousin after we watched it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That sounds fun.
Right?
Okay, I get it. Rory Culkin, now Scream 4.
Scream 4.
He's a ton of stuff. It's just...
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos.
Recently.
That's a good one. Brother Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Home Alone.
And then
Rory was.
they have another brother, Kieran McCulkin.
Kieran, well, he was in... He's also got an acting career going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rory was the kid in Home Alone that wet the bed a lot. Who drinks the Pepsi and wets the bed kind of thing. Abigail Breslin is Bo the daughter. And most folks know her from Zombieland and Zombieland 2.
Yeah, I mean, she's been in... She's a seasoned actress.
She's the sister of Emma Watson in the Zombieland movies.
Yeah, so, I mean, Abigail Breslin, like, yeah, she's a seasoned actress. Everyone knows Abigail.
Yeah,
If
she's been acting since this was her debut film.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I got for stars. I mean,
And then there's Cherry Jones that plays the sheriff, which was actually supposed to be a man named Edgar.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why'd they pick her?
Because her first name's Cherry.
I don't know.
Just kidding.
I don't. There wasn't really much information on why they picked her, but there is an homage to the man that was supposed to be played later on in the scene. She says she's going to go back to the station and have some of Edgar's coffee.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Let's dive into this.
All right.
Yeah, let's knock it out of the park. This is a fun movie. I like this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, did M. Night Shyamalan do anything between Signs and this? Because I know on the posters...
I think he worked on The Fifth Element before this with the same guy he worked on this one with. I think...
Shyamalan was involved with Fifth Element?
I believe so. Or
The Bruce Willis movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, dude, he's
That's cool.
It's crazy the amount of films he's involved in.
I'm thinking written and directed.
No, he was involved with the other director.
Okay, yeah.
First film written, directed, and produced as a student film called Praying with Anger.
Okay, let's get to the big budgets. Sixth Sense, I want to say, is his biggest.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first.
It might have been The Sixth Sense.
Yes, between Sixth Sense and Signs, he was a writer for the film Stuart Little. What a twist.
I know, right?
And probably his other really big film that he wrote, directed, and produced.
The Village.
No. Unbreakable.
That was before this.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was 2 years before this, 1 year after Sixth Sense, roughly.
That was his follow-up to Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Unbreakable?
It was
Yeah.
This should have been his follow-up.
You don't like Unbreakable?
I'm not going to say
You
I
don't like Bruce
it.
Willis?
Well, the connotation between the two films is that the guy is weak to water.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, War of the Worlds, that's what they used too. And
maybe M. Night Shyamalan hates water. Are you?
He can't swim, I guess.
I don't know, maybe.
What's like a racist spell for water? An aquacist?
Aquacist.
Are you an aquacist, Mr. Shyamalan?
Yeah, what the heck? What was I going to say? I was going to say something, but I forgot.
Gosh.
I don't know. Signs, I think, is way better than Unbreakable. I don't dislike Unbreakable. I just don't think it's a strong movie of his. Signs, yes. Sixth Sense, yes.
No,
now,
dude, Samuel L. Jackson was in Unbreakable.
I know. I saw it in theaters. I know.
Okay, fair. Dick.
The posters, M. Night wouldn't allow to say the director of Sixth Sense. He's like, these are two totally different movies.
That's what it was. It wasn't The Fifth Element. It was The Sixth Sense.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't want them to be like meshed together or people thinking they're going to get what they got in Sixth Sense kind of thing. And he wouldn't allow Mel Gibson to be on the poster either. He said, it's an ensemble cast. I don't want him to be the main focus.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, dude, because you got Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix.
Originally, I think he offered the role to Clint Eastwood and Paul Newman, I believe his name is.
Right, he wanted an older actor first.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into it.
Dive on in.
Yeah. Gibson wakes up, he hears screaming.
Yeah, except for the only thing I think of every single time in the opening is Scary Movie 3.
Well,
I know, yeah.
In the opening, you can hear crickets until he wakes up, and that's like, they use that motif.
How detailed did you get?
Oh, dude.
Jeez. You hear
they use crickets, and then when he wakes up, every time he wakes up, you stop hearing the crickets, and that's to signify danger throughout the movie.
Jeez, dude, you know this movie very well. All right, okay, good to know.
He gets all the poontang.
The kids found a crop circle.
Yeah. And then in the crop circle, there's some foreshadowing. There's a trident you can see in one of the crop circles.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, I saw it.
So what's funny about this crop circle scene? Rory Culkin's sitting there like, Mel Gibson's talking to him. It's just like, look at me. And then they're talking, and then Rory Culkin's character, Mel Gibson's like, what did you see? He's like, no, look at that.
Yeah, then you get this really cheesy line from Mel Gibson a little bit. They go investigate the crop circle with the actress Cherry Jones. She plays the sheriff. They call her in because they had the crop circle. They feel like they've been being harassed by Lionel Richie.
Mm-hmm.
So they call in the sheriff. They go investigate the crop circle. They're in there talking about how a guy could do this, 2 or 3 guys could do this with some boards and some rope.
Right.
And then you get this really cheesy line out of Mel Gibson. He pauses for a second. He says, Caroline, please stop calling me father. I don't hear my children.
Right. Yeah. They're trying to drum home the I'm no longer a preacher kind of thing. Yeah. He lost his faith or whatever.
I don't know why, but for some reason I wrote down Lick's butt every day. At some point in time after that.
That would be the following scene after. Okay. The kids they're in the house and they go out to feed the dog. The dog has peed himself.
They're giving the dog water.
Yeah.
And the girl says that the water's contaminated. Don't give it to him. And he's like, he licks his butt all day.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's what what it looks. But I'm sorry, I also just got done watching a comedian who says it's crazy that everybody eats butt. So, so between Lick's butt every day and that, I don't know if I got those two wires crossed.
Yeah. So do we jump ahead now here to there's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
Well,
that's literally the next thing I have written down.
They had a German Shepherd. It was part of the scene in the crop field is the animals in the area are acting up.
Right.
I don't
Morgan
need
knocks them out. Something like that.
The dog tries to attack the little sister. The kid kills him with a barbecue fork.
He doesn't kill him, though.
No,
because they tie him out in the garage.
That's the other dog. That's Isabella.
Oh, they have 2 dogs.
Yeah, they have a dog named Houdini.
Oh,
they kill Houdini.
Right. That's right.
Houdini tries to get to Abigail, but
Abigail's the actress named Bo is the character name.
Yeah. Which.
And then
Mr. Little Culkin.
That's when you learn in the movie.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan
Freeman.
Morgan.
They're not even close.
And that's when you get the foreshadowing in the movie that Rory McCulkin character's Morgan has asthma as he hits his inhaler.
Right. And then you get that there's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
Yeah.
I like the way that she says that.
Can I have a glass of water?
Yeah, like the monster isn't a big deal. I just want a glass of water.
It's contaminated.
Yeah.
What do you mean contaminated? You don't even know what that word means.
Gibson, I'm going to call him Gibson because I don't remember his real name. Do you? You know
Graham.
Graham Hess.
Oh, okay.
Hess family name, Graham first name.
He sees a monster outside on the roof, but he still thinks it's people playing a prank on him.
Yeah. Lionel Pritchard.
Yeah, they're really out to
get him.
And
Pritchard boys.
Yeah.
And some other gang. I don't know.
And then they're all like, so he gets all Joaquin, a.k.a. Merrill.
They meet.
Yeah.
They meet by the front door.
Yeah.
Right? And you get this classic line. And Joaquin Phoenix character, Merrill Hess, he says, so here's the plan. We got to act crazy. Insane with anger.
Oh, yeah.
We start cut and then...
Explain crazy.
Explain crazy. And he's like, I don't know, like cussing, like yelling loud.
I am insane with anger. He's running out.
I'm insane with anger.
They open the door. They run out both ways.
My mind.
It's great. That's a good scene.
I
like it.
They split directions.
I'm insane with anger. We're gonna beat your ass, bitch.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. He runs off to the right, and he says, he runs around the house and he says,
"Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass."
Yeah, Joaquin's into it.
He's like, no.
And then Mel Gibson
Merrill,
comes
right?
out.
Yeah,
that's his name, Merrill.
And then he builds up courage, and he's like, I'm insane with anger. And then he starts saying like goofy profanities.
I think he swore once. He said something like, "I'm gonna
kick your ass," or
I'm gonna kick your ass." The only time Mel Gibson's character swears in the entire film. But there's swearing from everyone else.
Cop comes the next day to hear about it, like hear the report and that sort of thing. And Bo says the same show's on every station, like everything. Yeah, it's the same show.
6'12" Scandinavian women.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. Yeah,
I meant no disrespect.
And then in between that, there's a little scene with some more foreshadowing. This is like the best foreshadowing movie ever. There's nothing but foreshadowing because they got Morgan Hess. He's playing with a walkie-talkie, and then Cherry Jones, she explains to him that he can use a baby monitor. It's like a one-way walkie-talkie. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because that comes into play a couple times further down the road.
Friggin' Bo with her like, I can't find the remote, and instead of getting up to change the TV, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
She can't find it under the couch or whatever, the cushions.
Why don't you get up and change the TV? I did. It's the same channel on everything. You think the remote's going to change that? I mean, she's like 6, I know, but...
And then they go into town.
Yeah. The sheriff's like, get out of town, stop watching TV for a while, get your mind off of it, do normal things.
Yeah.
So they did. And then there's some good character development in this film. Like you get enough little bits of backstory. Like, they go into town, they split up a little bit. Graham goes to pick up Morgan's meds. Morgan and
that girl.
Morgan and Bo go to the bookstore. And then freaking Merrill goes to the recruitment office, like to talk to the guy, like trying to, because he's got questions.
He's looking for info, like what do you know, kind of thing.
Like and then you find out that Merrill used to be a minor league baseball player with one of the, like he was essentially a slugger. Like when he hit that ball would go flying.
But he swung at everything.
Yeah, he swung at everything.
He
had the highest strikeout record.
Yeah.
Which was,
in that scene, you learn that he had 5 minor league baseball records, and then he had a 6th one, which was the minor league strikeout record.
Yeah.
It's
like Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
That's how Babe Ruth was,
Oh, yeah. It's because, again, those old school sluggers, they couldn't... well, in his words, it didn't feel right not to swing. But when they hit that ball, ooh boy!
Now, as we all know, the alien thing is just an excuse to sell soda.
Oh yeah, exactly.
12 commercials.
Crop
13.
circles equals soda sales.
So it cuts to Morgan and Bo in a bookstore, and then they meet with the bookstore salesman, and he's
Shasta. That was the soda that was being advertised.
Was it Shasta?
Yeah.
Of all the sodas, Shasta.
I drank plenty of Shasta as a child because I was a cheap ass.
So M. Night Shyamalan was top tier at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone loved him. We hadn't hit Last Airbender or anything yet.
Yeah.
So Shasta got the placement for this?
Wasn't like it didn't full on show the Shasta name. No, I recognized it because it had the SH and I recognized the writing.
Huh.
Like this lady drinking the can.
I bet Shasta's like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, and it's like, again, well, me like, again, you know.
When was the last time you had a Shasta?
High school? No.
Oh, okay.
I think one of our D&D nights.
No, I think it was
it's been
the Christmas party.
Okay,
4 or 5 years for me.
The house there, that chugging challenge we had.
Oh yeah, that was it. And then I got like diarrhea.
Yeah, y'all chug Shasta? Why?
Because the crazy ass mother of the person that was hosting it. I mean,
good.
she's nice and sweet, but she gave us all Shasta, and then we all
of course
had to.
I won.
Yeah,
I won.
I came in second place. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Don't count me out, mother loco. And then, we drank Shasta, and then because it was early in the morning and my stomach hadn't woken up and we had a crap ton of sugar, I had the hot brown Rangus.
So they go to lunch or whatever.
Hurt.
They see Shyamalan. I don't know his character name.
Yeah, they see him walking out.
And then in that one...
He was a local veterinarian, which is a callback to the first scene with Houdini where he pees on himself. He'd rather call
the doctor.
The doctor than a veterinarian.
Oh, interesting.
But and then so some things wrote down. The recruiter said beautiful women licking toes to.
Yeah, he said, "Why weren't you in the major leagues having beautiful women licking your toes?"
Gross.
And it's like, dude, are you? I guess we got a contender with a.
You find out that he had the strikeout record.
Yeah, and then there's the scene in the pharmacy with the lady confessing. He's like, "I'm not a father anymore. I haven't been one for 6 months."
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, who the hell counts the number of times that they curse?
I guess if you live in a small religious Pennsylvania town, that's what you do.
Yeah. And then on top of that, okay, there's Amish people in the Pennsylvania. But then, and she's like, is douchebag a curse word? And he's like, depending on how you use it. It's like, how about so-and-so, you're a douchebag for sucking face with so-and-so. Then yes. And she's like, oh, then it's not this number. It's 71. I did the math. That means she said douchebag 34 times in 1 week because she said this all happened last week. Who says douchebag 34 times as a curse word in 1 week?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I said it.
Early 2000s teenage girl.
Early 2000s teenager. So they get home. Baby monitor. Yeah. Start hearing stuff. Don't move. Don't let go. That sort of thing because he's holding it above and getting a better signal.
So this is when you first hear the clicking.
They sound like those mofos from District 9.
They climb on the roof.
Yeah.
They're holding the baby monitor. There's actually another
version. The roof of the vehicle.
There's another version of this movie where they sound more demonic.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, because I think one... script of it, or one version, actually was supposed to be more, instead of aliens, it was supposed to be like demons, and it was supposed to be more religious, or the aliens were a...
that makes sense, just for the character of Gibson.
So, that kind of, allegedly, but I don't know. If you watched our last video, I openly admit to being a dumbass.
That's true. Dogs are going nuts. Gibson breaks out a flashlight, and he goes out into his cornfield. Or whatever,
Tells the dog to calm the fuck down, pretty much.
He's hearing noises, and then you see it dart, kind of thing.
Yeah. You see the leg in the edge of the crops.
That's what it was, into the leg, into the crops.
Well, first you hear her clicking,
the... Beep, boop.
The gut-wrenching clicking sound. Like, if you were out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, and you heard that, I'm sure you would run away just
I don't know. I'd be like, oh, it's cicadas or something like that.
I would probably, yeah, depending. I mean, honestly, I'd be more terrified if I heard a banjo in the middle of those cornfields.
Right, yeah, Deliverance style.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've lived in rural areas where even, like, people that live in those rural areas
It's not like a loud cicada kind of clicking. It's, like, localized, and it's...
I mean, yeah, but I was just saying, I've lived in rural areas where people who live in those rural areas, if they hear banjos playing...
I'd learn banjo just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Just to screw with people.
I'd figure you'd be the one out there with the banjo.
Yeah.
Just hang out the side of a car with an amplifier just
Squeal like a pig.
no. Yeehaw!
So they watch UFOs on TV. UFOs
yeah.
are in Mexico. They're appearing in the sky.
Yes.
Reference to?
Those Mexican city lights that they're watching are inspired by the Phoenix lights from 1997. So that would have been
city lights.
5 years prior to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah. And then he flashbacks to his wife kind of dying or whatever.
Like the first little bit of it.
Yeah, the first bit.
He was drunk. No, he wasn't. He fell asleep behind the wheel. What a douche.
Yeah.
Now, if you ever watch a scary movie, they make fun of this scene.
Part 3.
The third one.
Yes.
Her head gets bigger and bigger.
That's the best gag in that movie.
And the one where he's like, oh, so the top half is, what about the bottom half? What do you mean? Let me show you donut and hot. After the lady's all right. Like, let me show you. She broke her taco. Charlie Sheen is kind of like a parody of Mel Gibson.
Yeah. He goes to see Shyamalan.
She broke her taco.
And Shyamalan's going to the lake. He thinks they don't like water. Mm-hmm. And they kind of hash some stuff out and that sort of thing. You know, Gibson almost cries because he's talking about his dead wife. Yeah.
Before that, he, his brother Merrill is in the closet watching TV, and it's like, they shouldn't be watching this. They should be playing like Furry Rabbit or having a tea party. What the hell is Furry Rabbit?
I don't know.
Most I can think of is a game, right?
Yeah.
Where you like get a bunch of cotton balls betwixt your butt cheeks.
Oh yeah.
And you try and fart them to like your buddy who tries to catch them in their butt cheeks. And then fart it around the circle or whatever as much as you can. I don't know. I just made that up in the spot. Do not play that. But then he continues talking even after M. Night Shyamalan leaves the closet. He's just like, shut the hell up.
Oh, yeah. He starts talking to himself, yeah.
Mel Gibson. I don't know. They're both crazy.
Yeah. Shyamalan, though, tells him, don't look at my pantry. I got one in there. And then he just drives off. Like, you're going to leave it at that? Yeah. No explanation? How'd you catch him? What?
I mean, that's kind of like the equivalent of like, hey, don't look under my mattress. There's some things you don't want to see.
Right. Yeah.
Mel Gibson walks inside, and he pretends to be the police. And he's like, we got the rest of your friends downtown in the paddy wagon.
He calls it the panty wagon first. Didn't they call it the panty wagon?
No, paddy wagon just because it's goofy.
Oh.
Like, no
I
one
thought
says
he
paddy
said
wagon.
Panty wagon.
No.
You guys know where my mind's at because apparently Furry Rabbit is a game.
Oh, see, I immediately went to the Quentin Tarantino Pussy Wagon.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pussy.
No, Pussy Wagon. And it says Pussy Wagon on the side of the car. What was the movie? Do you know the movie that I'm talking about?
Was it Death Proof? I don't know.
Oh, dang, I can't remember.
On it.
All right.
Yeah, keep going. I will.
But, yeah, you see, he's trying to convince the alien in the closet that he's the police.
Right.
The alien's not buying it. He doesn't even know what's going on.
Right.
So.
Oh, Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, there you go.
You see him walk over and grab a knife off the cutting board. And then he walks up to the door. He slides it on there. He can't see anything. He walks away. He sets it down. Kind of walks away. Then he stops for a second, turns back, crawls back under the door with the knife, and he's looking. And then a hand comes out towards him. He cuts the fingers off. Then it cuts back to him walking into the house.
Yeah. And then we get the scene. So they see the Brazilian news footage out of Brazil of the kids' party. This is the scene of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
This is what made everyone
Dude,
jump.
I saw this movie in theater. And
yes, you do.
was voted by movie critics one of the scariest scenes of all time.
Which I want to point out here real quick. Side note, personal story. When I saw this movie in theater, I went with my mom. And, my mom was just having a little, mother-son time, going watching a movie in theaters. Signs came out, PG-13, whatever. I like scary movies. She likes scary movies. No one else in the family watching with her. So, let's go watch Signs. And we're sitting there, and dude, she was the only lady in the theater. It was a bunch of single, older dudes about her age.
You've told me this, sir. Yeah.
And there, so my mom told me, I think people came here to hit on chicks. Who goes to a theater to pick up chicks? You can't talk in theaters. That's just disrespectful. So I'm pretty sure this guy, several seats, because I want to say we watched this one at one of those dollar theaters, the discount theaters.
Sure.
So, it'd been in theaters for a little bit. So we're sitting there, we're watching it and everything. And but this guy had, before it started, come up and sit next to us when there's a bunch of empty seats. Mother licka, why you sit next to my mom's? There's plenty of other seats, but no. He's all trying to be polite. Hey, would you and your husband like some popcorn or some candy? And my mom's like, oh, no, thank you. And this is actually my son. And he's like, oh, okay. And then when this particular birthday party scene happened, my mom also jumped. Come to find out later, afterwards, when we're in the car, she didn't jump because of the scene. She jumped because that douchebag, I hope you're watching, tickled her foot.
Yep.
Yeah, before this, you have an iconic meme scene where they're all sitting on a couch with tinfoil hats.
Oh,
wearing sandals.
Yeah. He filmed the party scene with the kids and the alien walk by with a camcorder. It was just him with a camcorder filming it.
Yeah,
Mr. Shyamalan?
Like a handheld camcorder that you'd buy, kind of thing.
What the kid was saying is it's behind the garage. It's behind the garage.
So did he hire a bunch of Brazilian kids or something?
Yeah, I would assume it's part of the movie process. Yeah, he probably hired them all.
Which is funny. I just want to point out.
I'm just saying how he filmed it. They're acting.
The national language of Brazil, I believe, is Portuguese.
Brazilian Portuguese, because Portuguese is a little bit different dialect.
Like Spanish and Mexican Spanish, or Mexico Spanish.
Yeah.
But then Meryl stands up and goes, "Vámonos, vámonos." Now, I know there's a little bit of overlap, but I'm pretty sure "vámonos" is Spanish.
It means let's go, too. It does.
Yeah.
So, stupid on two accounts, Meryl.
Yeah.
I still love you, Joaquin Phoenix. The character was just dumb.
He was afraid, and he was Bew. Bew was afraid.
Yeah, Bew was afraid.
There you go.
And had some big-ass nuts.
Now they have a vote. Do we go to the lake? Or do we stay home?
Oh, yeah. And then Mel Gibson tries to rig it.
Yeah. I got 2 votes.
I represent 2 parents.
Yeah, and Bo changes her vote.
Like,
all right, we'll just stay home then.
I was like, God damn it.
And they have their last meals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have spaghetti, mashed potatoes,
French toast, cheeseburger, and
extra bacon,
teriyaki chicken.
Yeah.
The most emotional scene in the film, which took 3 hours to film.
And the part that honestly made me laugh the most is how he's just like, to Meryl.
They get really emotional. I hate you.
Does he?
Yeah, they're all sitting there. The kids are hugging.
Then
Graham,
they all start crying.
Oh, right.
Daddy,
and he just grabs him and pulls him in.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix he pulls him in.
Because Joaquin Phoenix is just sitting there like.
Then.
I wonder if that scene was improvised slightly. Joaquin Phoenix was supposed to, and then Mel Gibson's like, dude, you're fucking up. Come here.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then they start boarding up the house.
Well, the baby monitor goes off.
Oh, yeah.
And that kills that scene.
Yeah.
It kind of wakes him up from that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's the scene here where a scary movie parodies it perfectly because they closed a door. The door swung into the room that they boarded up. So the side that they boarded up was literally useless because the person could open it up. If they opened up the door, it would open up completely, no obstruction, just see a bunch of boards, and they could be like, dink.
That's awesome.
This scene is where Graham Hess, Mel Gibson's character, describes how his kids came into the world, which is actually the description of how M. Night Shyamalan's kids were born.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you ever hear about...
They forgot the dog, though.
Your mom was so drunk, she cut off your penis.
Scary Movie 3. Yeah.
Is that why I pee up?
And then after he gets done explaining how they were born and how they acted when they were born. It cuts them at the bottom of the stairs, and then they hear the dog whimpering and...
I'm assuming the dog dies, Isabella.
Bastards. You killed not one but 2 dogs in this film?
Yeah, it's messed up, dude.
And then Meryl, Joaquin's character, says, should we turn the lights off? And Mel Gibson says, no, they already know we're here.
Yeah. And then they hear pounding on the house, right? And on the roof.
They hear little footsteps and creepy crawlies everywhere.
So they run down to the basement?
Yes.
And then freaking Meryl knocks out the light with it, whipping around with the pickaxe. Yeah.
Like a literal pickaxe, like axe with a pick on the end.
Yeah.
Firefighter's axe, I guess you could say.
Or just a straight up pickaxe.
I don't know. Is there any one other
like
difference?
a mining pickaxe kind of thing. Because they used to do coal. Like, they used to send coal up there, so they might have mined for coal, that kind of thing.
I don't know.
They figure out that the alien's just making noise. Like, he's...
They're distracting them from something.
And then they use this scene to look up Anna Faris's panties. I mean, continue.
What? What about Anna Faris's panties?
Oh, sorry, I got this mixed up with Scary Movie.
You want to talk about Anna Faris? We can do that. That's
My bad.
Anna Faris's panties.
Continue.
So they're being distracted, and the kid is standing by the coal hatch thing.
Whoa.
And then, now does the hand reach through, or was it already there?
It was there.
Just
and
dangling
lifts up.
Blended.
That's so freaking cool. Because you don't notice it. It blends in so well.
Because, I mean, they showed, or they explained earlier that the aliens have camouflaging capabilities.
Well,
they're a karma chameleon.
Yeah. Okay, Boy George.
Come on.
If you backstep a little bit, there's this whole scene with the swimsuit special that they tape over.
Oh, yeah, instead of her ballet.
This other cheesy line the kid says, everything they wrote in science books is about to change, and then the guy repeats it word for word on the TV.
See?
And then they had this whole speech about faith and all that together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's another flashback shortly after that, but then you're back in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the coal hatch, hand reaches out and grabs him. Yeah, it kind of lifts up, but it was already there. Not reaching out, it's already there.
It was blended in.
Grabs him, yeah. And then he has an asthma attack. And there's no medicine.
Yeah.
Because it's upstairs.
So you see Mel Gibson's character have his like crisis of faith again. Why he has it because he's like,
don't you do this to me.
don't do it again.
I hate you. And like, and tries to get his, kind of a really gut punching scene because it's like right in the feels.
Right.
Yeah. And
then we get the flashback of actually how his wife died. Kind of thing. Like the cop is telling him like,
what
hey,
happened.
This is going to be the last time you talk to your wife kind of thing.
Yeah. And then he wakes up to Joaquin Phoenix just standing over him like, sup? Found some more light bulbs.
Well, no, it cuts her. She says, tell Morgan to play games.
That one was a little afterwards.
That's a little later. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this was the cop telling him this is your last chance to talk to her, and then it cuts back, kind of thing. But the news says the aliens are leaving.
Yeah. So.
Are they?
And
except for they left a few they're injured behind. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Alternate version of this scene where instead of talking about the noxious gas and stuff, they're talking about lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. They go upstairs, and you get the alien in the TV reflection holding the boy.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's cool. There's only one scene I don't like in this movie, and we're coming up to it.
Oh, this is the CGI scene.
It is the CGI scene. Yeah. They ruined it.
CGI in this one.
And this is why Shyamalan doesn't like CGI. Because of this.
I don't blame him.
We're almost there. Wait, it's right. Or it's coming up. It's basically there, right?
Yeah.
The alien, and they show the alien's hand.
Yeah.
Because he's holding
everything's
going.
He's missing the fingers.
Yeah.
He's missing the fingers.
Yeah. Hey, Mel Gibson, remember what you did to me?
Yeah.
Guess what? I got your little boy hostage.
You can see Mel Gibson's reflection in the wrist of the alien.
And then the little girl's reflection is in the alien's back. Also, yeah.
Shows the level of their...
but yeah, this is about the time you get the bad CGI.
Yeah.
They do a close-up of the alien or something like that.
Of the alien's face later. So, and then while they're all standing there paralyzed trying to figure out what to do, that's when they have the rest of the flashback. Take it away, Christian.
And then she says, tell Morgan to play games. Tell Bo to listen to her older brother. Tell Graham to see. And then tell Meryl to swing away.
Yeah.
And then this is the part where everything comes together. And Graham's head, it's all... Everything flashes through his head, everything that's ever happened. Yeah. And then he looks,
sees
and Meryl...
Where the foreshadowing back at the recruitment station, Meryl says, "Yeah, I still have the bat at home."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Meryl, swing away,
swing away,
swing away, Meryl."
Yeah, and he does. He starts swinging away.
Oh yeah.
He reaches up, grabs the bat off the wall, and he beats
alien. Freaks out like
alien.
Yeah.
And then
poof,
he knocks him into the dresser. And a water cup falls on his arm.
And
then it pans across the room, and there's water cups everywhere because the little girl's aversion to water.
Yeah, and the one scene you actually see a clear shot of the alien's face. And it's one of those situations like, yeah, I would love to see the alien's face in this film, but sometimes this is one of those cases of not seeing...
Well, when you first seen it was when he was holding the boy, it wasn't as bad, but... Then you see like this terrible CGI.
They do a detailed CGI one, and it's not good. It doesn't hold
in the back because it's kind of like a slightly detailed silhouette.
Yeah.
So some of it's
they do a lot of silhouetting, a lot of shadowed frontal
practical CGI / special effects.
Really big underbite.
Yeah.
So it looks over.
And then when they did that one scene, oh my gosh, yes, that was the one scene. It was.
Yeah, it was a bummer. I really like the movie, except for that one scene where they show the
he beats the tar out of him, knocks him over.
Yeah.
Water pours on his face.
Yeah. And then he stops breathing.
It cuts to the scene. You can see the reflection in the TV, which is how they should have done the whole thing, because it looked better. But his chest is pounding, he's breathing, and it just stops.
And
it cuts the carnage of the whole house.
Yeah.
And then, what did we cut to? Gibson with his son?
Yeah.
His lungs were closed.
Yeah.
His lungs were closed.
It wasn't luck. It was meant to happen. Gives him the
He was meant to have asthma.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
And Bo and Meryl are all freaking out. And even though I know what happens, part of me is like, oh!
They close their eyes, all walk away, and then you hear, Daddy, what happened?
Did someone save me?
And then...
Not in Scary Movie 4, by the way. A little late, but spoilers.
It's a little cheesy, this music pickup, and then it...
Sure. But we close out with Gibson finding his faith.
Again.
And it pans across the house, the windows are boarded up and stuff, and it pans...
It's cool how they do that.
And then
seasons change, time passes by.
And then you see Mel Gibson coming out the door. He has his priest vestments on, and he throws on his sports coat, and he walks out, and
So I guess that won't make him Catholic, but...
He's not Catholic.
Protestant? Are they? Do they also wear the collars?
Lutheran is my guess.
Oh, okay, because Catholics also wear the collars, right?
They do.
But I know one other religion also does the collars, but they're allowed to marry.
And if I want to say Lutherans are similar. It's kind of an offshoot of Catholicism, a lot more liberal.
Our local theologist.
So
there's Greek Orthodox.
It's been a long time since I went to a Lutheran church.
I was just curious because
Catholic.
They don't openly say, but the vestments he was wearing was similar to Catholic, but at the same time.
Right, and
he was married and he had
Lutherans
kids.
hung on to a lot of that. They wear the garb and stuff when they do that sort of thing, but it's a lot more liberal,
more modern.
That's probably
they're married.
He threw on the sports coat instead of like actual priest vest.
I'm not saying that's what it is. It's not actually said what specific religion he is, but
you know what? Just ignore it.
Yeah,
or
take a guess.
Yeah,
let us know what your guesses are. I'm curious. I want to hear
voodoo.
That's the sort of thing I'm into.
He was into voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo. What do y'all... I mean, that's the end of the movie. Where are we at?
Seasons change, yeah.
You got any more trivia? Or did we go over everything?
The house that they had was actually from a agricultural school that they were borrowing, and they donated all the corn to the school.
Wasn't it Delaware or something?
Yeah, it was a Delaware agricultural school that they borrowed the house from.
So it takes place in Pennsylvania.
And they used something from the school, right? To make the corn grow quicker?
They developed their own watering method to make the corn grow faster.
That's what it was. And Delaware was super interested.
Yeah, and they took that idea and they started using it.
Oh, what'd you guys come up with? We're tricking this. That's funny.
Smart. Cool.
Christian, where do you give it? 1 through 10.
With all the history I have with this movie, I give it a solid 8.
Cool.
Because it's got some family times, like I said. We have some... It's kind of like a rite of passage. Like, we use it to scare the younger generation.
Sure. Get the kids. Yeah. It's a safe one for kids.
A family-friendly horror movie. You don't get a lot of those.
You don't. Yeah,
I do approve of that.
PG-13, if I recall. Yeah.
Which, I mean, part of the reason I saw it, I want to say, I was in elementary school. Yeah, 2002. That would have made me 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is elementary school. I don't know. I'm not good with time. It passes by.
Well, what do you give it?
Time after time. Oh, sorry.
5th grade.
1 through 10. Where you at?
I'm going to say 7 just because I would agree with you on the 8. The only reason I'm giving a 7 is that one scene of that terrible CGI, even by early 2000 standards. I'm sorry, M. Night.
Yep. I stand with Garrett on this one.
7.
Because of the CGI.
Bad CGI. Hey, CGI can be done right. I mean, maybe we'll touch on that. And
it's only that one little scene.
Yeah, but
that's why it gets a 7.
Well, they could have...
Which is above average.
They also could have just kept it at like a silhouette rather than actually...
Yeah, I am a big fan. I've always been... he knows. I'm a big fan of leave it up to my head. Let me think of what I'm saying kind of thing.
Yeah, like, you know...
They had the basic body type, which actually, there's another trivia fact. The aliens were supposed to be more feminine figured, but they decided to go with masculine because feminine figure... They figured wasn't very...
Yeah, they were going for the more... there you go. That's a good... Yeah.
Which, I mean, well, we already had Species at this point, right?
Species was 90... Wait. Yeah, that was 96 or so, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't need any, aliens with titties.
Unless, we had Species 1, 2, 3, 4...
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... Natasha Hendrich.
Yeah, they kept pumping them out. They're like, oh, okay. Aliens with titties? People are watching it? Keep pumping them out.
Nerds. I have no room to talk. But, alright, so...
yeah, that does it for
between
science.
The 3 of us, solid 7.5. Not a bad score. And honestly, M. Night learned from his mistake with that CGI. I mean, he's pumped out some bad...
Yeah, didn't he? He's made some other mistakes.
We don't talk about Avatar.
Everyone's talking about that. That's the big monster mistake.
That is the... I'm sorry, but you... fucked up there, man.
Yeah.
However,
he should have stuck to what he does.
He did really good with Knock at the Cabin. I will say that, and it's actually based off of a book.
What was it? Oh wait, it's in last week's episode we actually talked about this. Yeah. There is a kitty sitting right in front of Garen right there,
yelling at me.
You can't see her, but she is yelling at him.
What do you think?
We actually talked this in the last episode.
Now you're gonna be silent?
With the visitor, or the visit.
And,
yeah, we talked about M. Night Shyamalan. So, assuming they watched our best twist video, you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let me talk about M. Night Shyamalan.
The Village.
Best twist? Not so sure about that.
That one wasn't meant to be a horror movie.
I didn't add it to my list.
But, alright,
But we do talk about it in last week's video, if you saw it.
Where we talk about twists.
Twist endings, the best twist ending. What is the best twist ending? But they already saw it, because this is coming out after that.
If you've already been, if not, go back, check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
The results may surprise you. It might be a twist.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for...
Like, comment, share, subscribe, notifications.
Do all that.
If you want to.
I know...
If you want
I don't know what we're doing next week, actually. Because this is coming out after the one we...
Yeah. We don't know. Stay posted. Maybe we'll drop some hints. Sure. If you want the cat to be a special guest for one episode, we will do that if this video gets 100 likes.
Kind of depends on the cat.
And that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree to it?
Yeah, she does.
Now you're being quiet on me.
Now she's being quiet. Okay. We're calling it. That's it.